Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am just an average girl who recently found out about Jesus, and I desire to tell as many people who wants to hear about him. That's kind of the simple, cut and dry gist of my channel. I have never had this desire on my heart to talk about Jesus. I've never had the desire to reach people. I've never had the care for people about where their souls might go after we die. I've never cared about anything like that until very recently. So this has been very much of a journey myself, and that's all I want to do. I just want to introduce people that Jesus is real, introduce them to him, and if it's not your cup of tea, then it's just not the time. And you're free. Thank the good Lord we have free will, and you can carry on with your life the way you please. He is not going to force a relationship with you, and that's a beautiful thing, you know. As much as I desire people to know who he is and to know the good message, the good news that he brings, it's not something that I'm trying to convince people of. It's just, if you have ears to hear, then let's talk. That's really the whole point of my channel. I just want to engage with people because, you know, when we talk to people, you know, sometimes it ruffles feathers. People get in their feelings, and you know, it might plant a seed, it might not. That is up to God, really. However, it is ultimately our choice. If you want to continue a life of sin and be comfortable in sin, that's your choice. And again, God's not going to force a relationship upon anybody. If you want to be separate from God in this life, then you will be separate from him on the next life. And that's why I just want to tell people, like, there is another life out there. You don't have to believe me. You absolutely don't have to believe me. But seeing as I was someone who didn't want anything to do with the truth of this, I gotta tell you, like, you're on the wrong path. And I'm not saying that to be like, you should get on our path, but I kind of am at the same time. I want you to make that decision with as much information. So I just want to give you the information, let you go on your way, and maybe you'll come back. You know, that's another really cool thing, is that, you know, a seed could get planted to someone, and then maybe a month or a year or 5 years later, they'll come to the truth in God's timing. But ultimately, you have to make that decision. And it's something I had to make a decision about also. And I knew for a good part of my life that there was a God, because, you know, in the Bible, I think it's in the book of Romans, it says that everyone has the truth written on their heart. It's just that we as humans enjoy sin sometimes, and that is the truth of it. We do. Don't let someone tell you otherwise. There's been many a times I've lived very comfortably in sin, and I just seared my mind from it, because I'm like, I just want to live my life the way I want to live my life. The way Angie wants to live her life is the way I'm going to live my life. And I just couldn't imagine my life of not partying, not getting drunk from time to time, not fornicating, not, you know, the list goes on and on. Having hate in my heart. It's just, there's so many things that we just really don't think about, because we are so dedicated to living comfortably in sin. And the fact that a lot of people do have a hard time acknowledging that we are all sinners. We have all sinned, we are sinning, and we will sin in the future. Regardless of if you're saved or not, you're gonna sin. It is different though, because you don't want to sin. When you find this truth of who Jesus is, it truly does transform your mind. It transforms the way you live, and it will make you appreciate the gift of grace that is there for you. You won't want to, I guess, take advantage of grace. I don't know if that's the best way to word it, but that's kind of what I feel like I was doing. And that's just kind of my, I guess, the way I would explain it, because I was kind of taking advantage. I'm like, oh, well, he'll forgive me. But at the same time, I didn't know Jesus the way that I know him now. So it's that knowledge. Like, I knew of Jesus. I knew that he died for sins. I just didn't understand what that meant. And so if you're someone that doesn't really understand what that means, and you're maybe living a comfortable, sinful life, maybe you're just not taking it serious. Like, I was there, and it wasn't that long ago. Like, it's hard to believe the mind, like, rewiring that I've gone through just in a very short time. Like, just even this last year alone, it's just actually mind-boggling. And, we go through a lot of time where we don't really know. And especially if you're growing up in a church that just is very, like, it's about all, and there's nothing wrong with being all about love and stuff, but there has to be that balance. Like, the good news is here because there is bad news, and we got to have a balance of the bad news and the good news. It can't just be all bad, and it can't just be all good, because we want to help people understand that the default setting is hell, right? I like to explain it like this because it makes sense to me. So maybe it'll make sense to you, but the default setting across the board is hell. We all deserve hell because we've all fallen short of the glory of God. Every one of us. And the only one who can change that setting is Jesus. And if you don't understand what Jesus did, then you're not going to have that appreciation for what he did. Because thing is, for me, this is my own personal testimony, a very small piece of it anyway. I grew up understanding that there's a God because of my great-grandmother, bless her soul. I was very, very, very close with my great-grandmother, and she was Catholic. So I didn't understand the difference of denominations. I remember vividly not understanding why we couldn't go to every other church. Like, it was very confusing to me. Why can't we check out this church? Because in my community, my very small community, there was like a few different churches, and I couldn't understand, like, why can't we just go into this one or just go into this one? Because there was like a United Church, there was the Anglican Church, there was the Catholic Church that we went to, and no one really explained it to me. It was just like, we just don't kind of thing. So I would always go to this Catholic church with my nanny. You don't? One second. And so I'm growing up and I'm going to church with my nan at this Catholic church. And to be honest, I really only enjoyed going because I like to spend time with my nan. I honestly found it quite boring. I never really learned anything from the sermons or the Sunday school that I was just dropped off at. My parents never did church or anything like that. So there was never really like a full, like, Sunday, like, family. It was just me and my nan. My parents would just drop me off at Sunday school. And that was pretty much it. Sometimes, it'd be a little fun to walk up with like the bread and the wine, and my nan would do that from time to time. That was pretty much the extent of my learning, though. I always heard people say Jesus died for our sins, but I feel like I've never gotten the full explanation of, like, but why did he have to do that? And I guess I guess I just didn't get the memo. I never remember anyone ever talking about, why he had to do that for humanity. Like, I just feel like this whole bomb of information I just found out, like, to almost 3 years ago now, where I'm like, what? Like, you mean to tell me this whole time? Like, I was missing a really crucial piece of the puzzle where everything then fell into place. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me right now? I'm not trying to shame the Catholic religion. I've learned a lot about it, to be quite honest. It's very alarming to me. And again, there are a lot of good people, a lot of decent human beings, because I don't even like saying there's good people, because I know that now there is no one that's actually good in life. We can be decent at best, yes, but only God is really good. So I don't even really like saying good people, because we all fall short. So it's just like things like that I don't even feel right saying anymore. It's so funny how your brain starts getting rewired. It's really cool. And I say that because I used to call myself a good person. I truly thought the reason why I was going to heaven was because I was good. And I'm so sad to say that there's a lot of people who think that. And that will be even more devastating for people who think they're going to heaven, to then only be told that, depart from me, I never knew you. And it's so true, because it's like, my whole life I've believed in God. I never understood about, Jesus being God in the flesh. I never got that piece, but I knew that there's a God. Just from the things that's happened in my life, and I'll get more into that at another time, because it would take me probably 4 hours to get through. Just looking back at everything that's happened. I've always known that there's a God. I've always believed there's a God. But the difference is that I never followed him. I never followed his commandments. I've never taken him serious. And to think that I thought I had a paved way to heaven because I'm a good person, because I hold the door for people, because I'm kind to people, because I'm a decent human being at best, because I donate blood. Works mean absolutely nothing if you don't have a relationship with him. Works are not going to get you into heaven. Being baptized is not going to get you into heaven. It's by knowing who Jesus is and having your full trust, your full faith in him, and that he's paid for your 100% penalty, your debt. He's paid it clean. He's paid it off. What an amazing thing that is to know, like, that it's not things that I do in life. It's what he's done. So for me to think that, oh, I do this, if you find yourself saying, oh, because I've done something, just backtrack a bit and think, wait, is it my doing? Is it the stuff I've done? Or is it what he's done? Because he took a crazy amount of mockery, being tortured, being beaten to a pulp, to then only have to carry a cross that was probably 200 pounds. I don't even know. I know it wasn't light. To only then be nailed to it for our behalf, so that we might have a chance to go and be with him. Because otherwise we'd have a one-way ticket to hell. So just think about that. When you're just out living your casual life and thinking that because you've done good deeds in life that you're going to go to heaven, remember that it's not things that you're doing. It's what Jesus did. So you ought to live your life for him, because he gave his life for you. He gave his life for me, for everyone, for people who will inevitably say no. But the choice is there, okay? The choice is there. Just like for me, I said no because I wanted to live my selfish little life. I wanted to go out and party and not be held back. Like, I can't even say this without wanting to like just slap myself because it makes me cringe. The fact that I was so hung up on getting drunk and wanting to go out and party and just be on Angie's time for what? Thought I was losing all of these fun things in life. Like, as if that took priority over everything. Like, it actually doesn't even make sense to my head anymore. And I remember in the moment thinking that I was losing all of my fun. I'm losing all my life. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. Like, that's what I would love to just say to myself like 2 years ago. Because it's just like so pathetic when I think back. But I try to give myself grace because when you don't know, you don't know. And then there's people that tell you have to clean yourself up first before you can like go and be saved. You have to do all this. You have to stop with your addictions. Stop living your life of sin before you go to Jesus. That is not true. So if there's anyone thinking that right now watching this, I'm directly talking to you. That is not true. Jesus welcomes us in our messes. It doesn't matter how far away you've been from God. He is always welcoming you in. If you're breathing and standing or sitting, whatever you're doing in life, if you are still on this earth, you have a chance to go and say yes to him, accept that you're a sinner, believe that your trust is in Jesus. Truly listen to the words that I'm saying. Please, I just urge you to realize you don't have to clean yourself up. It's not possible. You will only be overwhelmed, because that is exactly how I felt. And I almost turned away from it because I'm like, this is not doable. This is not feasible. Like, I can't do this. And then I realized that it's not my power that's doing it. It's his. Like, it was just like a news flash. Like, and it came so timely because I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. And I empathize with people who are on the cusp of believing, and then you have one person that tells you that you have to clean your life up before you can go to him. Give me a break. That is not true. Whoever is telling you those things, you just tell them they're wrong and go read the Bible and run away from them. Is the only kind of advice is that I can provide. Anyway, just all that to say, I want to be here for however long the Lord wants me to be here, to tell people, as many people as he allows me to tell. But I do long to be with him. Like, I truly do. And not in a way where I don't want to like live anymore. It's just that I just want to be with him, because I get now like the amount of pain and torture and like the people that were spitting on him and mocking him, all for the stupid things that I've done in my life. I just want to hug him so bad and thank him for everything he did for all of mankind. Especially, nowadays you see a lot of people who are on lives, and there are some wild comments, man, in those live chats, and it's hard to see. It really is, because when your eyes are open to the truth and you can see how vile and blasphemous people can be, and you only want them to wake up, it's hard. It's hard, man. And when you know what Jesus went through and you see people just like mocking his name, it does something to believers, man. And we just long to have people understand that his grace and his love is so amazing. It's abundant and it's there for you to take. It's a free gift. It's a free gift. If anyone has ears to hear, just hear that this is a free gift, and you will not miss your old life. In the moment, you'll think you will. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to think everything's being robbed from you and your whole life is going to be just boring. I get that. I thought the same thing. But you'll look back. I promise you, you will look back one day and you'll think, who the heck was telling me that? What words were coming out of my mouth? Like, how did I even think those thoughts? That's your flesh telling you that. That's your flesh screaming at you to not know the truth, because your flesh is going to go right back into the dirt, but your soul is going to live on. And it's only going to live on in one of two places, okay? For eternity. Like, you think 80 years on this planet's a long time? Try waking up and knowing that you're in eternity in hell. That's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people. And it's going to be even worse for people who think that they're going to heaven. And I just know far too many people like myself that think they're going there and they're not gonna. And I say this humbly because I used to think the same. And I know that I have family members that they think that they're going to heaven because they go to church every week and they tithe and they're good and they do this and they do that and they're good. That's just full circle of it. They're good based off of the works that they've done. They don't want to do any Bible studies because they go to church on Sunday. They don't want to read the Bible any other day, maybe Sunday, but I'm very inclined to think that they only go to church and listen to the man talk, and then they just go home. And that's it. There's no relationship with that. It's not a relationship. Like, think about the relationships you have in your life. You talk to them. You learn about them. You learn about the things that they like. You learn about the things that they don't like. That's what God wants for us. He just wants a relationship. And it's really not that big of an ask. And I just say this because I don't want people to be led down the wide path that many people are going down. And it's even worse, like I said, people who think that they're good are going to have the rudest awakening. Because you know what? I can handle people who are like, nope, I don't want none of Jesus. I don't want none of God. I'm doing my own thing. Like, I'm an atheist. I'm this, I'm that, whatever. Like, that, okay, you've made your choice. That's your free will. God will honor your free will. He's not going to force you into eternity with him when you don't want to be with him on this earth. That's fine. My heart breaks for people who actually think that they're going to be good and go to heaven and then have the biggest wake-up call, and then it's going to be too late. So, with all that being said, I just would pray that you look into Jesus, check him out, see what kind of guy he was, and be on the right team. Okay? Be on Team Jesus. He loves you and he desires a relationship with you if you would just choose him. So I love you all. Even though I know a lot of people, even though I know I don't know you, and I know a lot of people won't like me just off of the message that I'm bringing, but I still love you as someone that was made in God's image. And I just pray the best for you. I pray that you would come to the truth and be changed by it and just be ready to come home. It's truly the best thing you'd ever do for yourself. And then you can tell other people about it too. So either way, I love you all. Please be kind to one another. Time is running out. As we know, the hourglass is getting empty. We don't know when Jesus is coming back, but we know the ending of this story, right? We know Jesus reigns supreme. We know he's the winner at the end of the day. So, be on the right team. Be on Team Jesus. Love you all. Have a good day. Bye.